What's going on, guys? I quit my job at a really fast growing agency, 80 plus staff, 10 mil plus turnover, where I headed up sales just a couple of months ago, and I thought it might be valuable for me to just break down that process. If you're in a similar situation and you've got a corporate job, you've got something on the side that you really want to do, that you feel passionate about, I'll tell you how I left my job and what I needed to do in order to get to that place from a mindset, but also from a an operational point of view and a personal point of view as well. So let's get into it. As I say, I worked at an agency for 5 years, the fastest growing agency in Northwest England, and I loved it. It's not like this was a bad place to work. I was treated really, really well. I had loads of friends, everyone was sound. I had friends from before I joined, and I made a lot of friends after I joined, and I was quite an integral part of the operations. I was doing outbound cold calls, emails, I was involved with the marketing, I was sort of spearheaded the direction that we went in, and I ended up working with some massive clients and selling to some absolute household giants, if you will. FedEx, Subway, Liverpool Football Club, the Class of 92, Jack Daniels, the list goes on. Honestly, it's crazy. I was earning good money. I had a good basic salary and I had a good percentage of commission coming into me every week. So it was a real tough decision to leave, but ultimately I'm really, really glad I did. When I started this journey, obviously it was just a mistake. I've covered before that my entrepreneurial journey happened by me just putting out content with no expectation. I saw people making carousels on Instagram. I thought I could do that, and I couldn't at first, but turns out I got okay at it. And then people started coming to me and wanting to pay me for me to help them with sales, which was cool. I wasn't really thinking about it too strategically though. And then I started to realize that this was really, really consuming me. I couldn't focus on anything else. I just wanted to help people build their businesses, win more clients, and make money whilst doing it, which is a really, really important thing for me. So I was losing focus in my personal life and at work, and I wake up sort of every morning thinking about this business that hadn't even started yet, but the imagination started to run away with me, I guess. So I started content to clients, a mastermind on the side. I start working people with 6 months, helping them, 1, nail their offer, 2, nail a really, really good content strategy that generates inbound and outbound leads, and then how to close people on structured sales calls with sort of minimum friction. And I had a few clients, and slowly but surely it started to work. Like, I'm about 9 months in to the whole program itself, and now some of the results that we've got were amazing. And when you start to see this traction, you start to see people messaging you saying, oh my God, you really helped me, you've changed my life, or you've shifted my mind, or I've just had a 10K month, whatever it is, that really adds fuel to the fire, and all alongside working this job. From this point, it took me about 3 months. It took me about 3 months of feeling anxious every day, thinking, I've got to do this. I need to change my whole life. I can bring in money from doing something that really, truly fulfills me, and I am the owner of it. I'm in control of my destiny, kind of thing. And when I started hitting consistent 5-figure months, I knew it was time. I knew it was the right call. So I handed my notice in, and the sense of relief, the anxiety that left me was absolutely insane. Like, I felt completely and truly liberated. And the other thing it allowed me to do was completely focus and channel my energy into one thing rather than being split between the two. Not only did this help me and build the business and win more clients, it also helped better the client experience as well. So there's this loop that people will come in, they'll get results, and then you can use that to improve the program or offer that you have, but also use it within part of your marketing. And just 2 months into being self-employed, I started this snowball effect. The compound effect really took shape and started making even more money, onboarding and winning even more clients. And it was all due to that one decision. And it's a small decision with massive impacts, I think. Just choosing where you spend your time and choosing where you get your money from you can make the decision like that, and I did. But to actually go from making the decision in my head to externalizing that decision and handing in my notice was big. There was a really big sort of mindset shift I had to go through as to, is this safe? Am I going to make as much money? Is it reliable? And ultimately the answer is yes. People say don't put all your eggs in one basket, but you are doing that when you work for someone. If that's your only source of income, all your eggs are in the basket with that employer. You have to ask for time off. You have to ask if you want more money. Whereas on the flip side, I can have any day off that I want. I only have 1.5 days off a week, I would say, at the moment, but obviously that's going to change. But if I want to take a whole week off, like I did a few weeks ago, to go on holiday, I can. I don't have to explain myself to anyone, and that's another part of the liberating feeling that this gives you. So as I say, this whole process took about 3 months and I procrastinated hard. And I don't want you guys, if you're in a similar situation to me, to do the same. You know, this doesn't have to be hard, but I'm gonna break down the process I went through and hopefully that'll offer you a bit of clarity on what you maybe should do next. As a starting point, if you're waking up every single day thinking about doing something else, that's a good indication. That's a bit of a red flag or a green flag, depending on which way you look at it, that it's time for a change. And also, if you hate your job. If you hate your job, this is going to be a lot easier for you than it is for me. So let's jump into the first point, which is planting the seed. Yeah? Talk to someone in the business. Doesn't have to be someone in charge of you, doesn't have to be a manager, someone in a senior position. Just go and talk to someone and let them know how you feel. Let them know that you're working on something, or let them know that you're considering leaving, and just see what that reaction is. Speak to friends, you speak to family as well, obviously. If you have a partner, it's a decision that they're going to have to be involved in. But you'll find that just talking about it outwardly to other people is going to ease sort of the uncertainty and the anxiety you may have around the big decision. So just go and plant the seeds, and you can do that, as I say, within the business to see how it might be received, but also with people closer to you as well. The second thing is, don't let fear hold you back. Sacking off a job with a secure wage isn't something you should do lightly. Like, I get it, definitely not something you should just jump into. But the main thing here is not to wait for the perfect conditions. That's a form of procrastination, because the perfect conditions will never come. They do not exist. There's never going to be a day where you wake up and go, right, today is the absolute perfect day for me to leave my job. You know, it's like having a child. You know, there's never going to be a precise time that is perfect to bring a new human into the world. So there's always going to be these external factors and internal factors that are going to give you a reason not to make a decision. But if you can realize and grasp hold of the fact that it's never going to be perfect, the conditions are never going to be completely ideal, then you can jump in and do it. You know, if you don't do it, you're always going to wonder, what if? And the last one, a really, really big point, is set yourself up first. Set yourself up for a successful transition. Put away 3 to 6 months worth of savings. I would say your monthly salary times 3 to 6, and financially make sure that you are secure, because there are going to be, especially at the start, sort of rocky months. You're not going to have a consistent income necessarily, so make sure that you're prepared financially, but also don't go and burn any bridges. Don't leave work and shove your middle finger up to your boss and tell them you hate them or whatever. Go in, have a conversation, talk to them, feel heard, let them feel heard too, and keep that door open just in case, because a lot of businesses do fail. But even the fact that you're considering this, that you're watching this video right now, is a lot more than most people will do. Most people just stay stuck in this corporate existence for their whole lives. And for me, it's sad to see. You know, if you have got something about you or enough about you to go out there and push on and do something that ultimately fulfills you and makes you money, then you should do it. Hopefully this will be your calling. Hopefully this video inspires you to go and take that first step into leaving your corporate role. And lastly, know your numbers. Work out your break-even point. You know, how much money do you have to have coming into your household and into your business to break even completely? What do you have to pay the bills? What's the bare minimum? Then work out like an aspirational target or an aspirational value. You know, what would be nice? Is it a 10K month would secure me with 3K of my bills covered, and then I've got 7K to play with every month? Or is it a case of a bit less than that? You know, who knows? And then I love to have a stretch target. When I first started out, I was hitting 10K months, 5-figure months, but I stretched that up to 25K as a stretch target, and I've done it, but only just. So what we need to do is always have a bigger number, something that feels a little too far out of reach, maybe even really far out of reach, and make sure you're aware of that figure. But the most important one is knowing your break-even point. And guys, here comes the pitch. Like, if you are in this scenario and you might need a little help just putting together that offer to make sure that people are more compelled to buy it, maybe it's developing an understanding of the different ways you can use content online to generate leads, or maybe it's a case of brushing up on sales skills or taking your first calls and conducting them efficiently, then you can visit the link under this video. There's a landing page there that tells you all about my Content to Clients program, where we help entrepreneurs hit those 5, 10K, 15K, 20K months online using organic content. So go and have a look. And if you want to, you can book a free chat with me or the team. No obligation. We'll find out more about where you are now, more importantly, where you want to get to. And if we think we can help, we'll have a discussion. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.